forget God. They worship the golden calf. So, brethren, this morning, God always reminded us over and over again. In Psalms, it says that thy word I hid in my heart so that I may not sin against thee. Because when we sin, we forget. Uncle June said in our discussion, don't forget. Right, Uncle June? Don't forget this message and what we have discussed this morning, and we have to apply what we have learned. If we don't apply, then we will forget. So now, this morning, my topic is stewardship. When I was Seventh-day Adventist, I was born Seventh-day Adventist, 1972, I was baptized. And I was already have been discussing this stewardship over and over again. Until now, we're discussing stewardship. Why? Because today we know, and we don't apply, tomorrow we do not know. So once again, I'd like to discuss this stewardship. What is the meaning of stewardship? It says here that stewardship means that everything we have belongs to God. And we are to manage it for His glory. A steward does not own anything. That's why I remember my brother, he has many cars, and when you borrow that car, he let us borrow. And he said, anyway, that is not mine. That belongs to God. So a steward does not own anything. He is make his master a prophet, meaning we are to multiply the resources he entrusts to us. We are whole life stewards of our time. Says here, redeeming the time for the days are evil. And we have to manage our time and make our day productive. And number 2 is talent. Everyone of us has a talent. Stewards is the gift God has given us. There is a parable of the talents in Matthew 25 and 1:14, if you follow with you the Spirit. And the third is testimony. We are testimony, stewards of the grace of God. Remember, we are living testimony to the world. The Bible tells us, let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify His Father. So we are the living testimony. The principle that I'm going to emphasize this morning is we are to make our masters a prophet. I mean, we are to love our neighbors as ourselves. And number 2 principle is we are to love our brothers even as Jesus loves us. Enough to die for them. And if we love our neighbors as ourselves, we will help them in time of need. God says He will reward the one who helps the poor. It is in Psalms 41. God gave us resources, and He expects us to help our brother when he is experiencing trial. James and John both say that if we have the resources to help our brother in time of need, and if we have resources, we have to help our brothers in times of need. And if we refuse, then our faith is meaningless and we sin. Now about tithing. Tithe is a form of worship. Some people say, oh, you give tithes and offering. Because if you do that, you will receive blessing. But that is not the way it is. We give tithes because that is an act of worship, not because we give in order to get. Then we have to forget that. It's a bad motive. The word says tithing is an act of love. That's why sometimes it's hard to give, because when we expect something to get. But if our heart is full of love, it's easy. So tithing is a declaration of dependence on God. The summary of my topic this morning about stewardship is God promises to meet our needs if we trust in Him and truly put Him first in our lives. Then we will experience a true joy.